Hello, Lake Erie Council. Welcome back. It is Monday. Where did that weekend go? I think all those days kind of run together. What about you, Kaci?
Yeah, it flew by pretty quick. I was hoping for nicer weather, but not getting that yet.
Yeah. So I'm excited to be back here with Kaci today for our Wolf Den meeting. So today we are doing the Motor Away Adventure. So there's some fun activities that we'll be doing. But first, before we start anything like we always do, we're going to start off with our opening, the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the Scout Oath and Law.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And now the Scout Law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Awesome job, guys. Great way to start this off.
Right.
So, our first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about a few different types of, we got cars, boats, planes today. So we are starting with our planes, I think. Planes are a really cool aspect. Did you know, so paper planes are what we're going to do, and they're pretty light, right? This helps them fly through the air when you use just the powers of your muscles to propel them. But a real airplane isn't so light, right?
No, and I don't think I could throw a real airplane through the air. I'd like to try, but I don't think I could do it.
You'd be Superwoman, right?
Yeah, and I'd be okay with that.
But how does anything that big stay in the air, you know?
Right.
So airplanes need help to lift to fly. So scientists explain lift with an idea called Bernoulli's principle. As planes travel through the air, air travels over the wings, and the shape of the wings makes the air travel faster over the top of the wings than beneath them. And the difference in this air speeds creates higher pressure beneath the wings than above them. The pressure differences causes the wings to push up, creating a lift. The faster the plane moves through the air, the more air is forced under and over the wings, creating more lift. So it's a little complicated, but it's kind of like, but that's what helps move our airplanes. So we're gonna have a couple different types of airplanes, but the requirement that you should look at would be requirement number 1A. And requirement number 1A states to create and fly 3 different types of paper airplanes before launching them. Record which one you believe will travel the fastest and what property of the plane leads you to make that prediction. Okay, take it away, Kaci.
So I've actually already kind of pre-made a few different types of airplanes. So Jensen is holding one. Jensen, can you show them? So that one's just made out of a sales paper. So it's really thin and light. It's like a newspaper material, okay? So we're gonna see how far that one goes. But then, hold on, not yet, but. So then I have one made out of cardstock. So cardstock is just like thick construction paper. So it's pretty heavy duty. It holds its folds very, very nicely, okay? And then I made one, I got a little bit adventurous here. I made one out of just a piece of cardboard. So you can see my folds are in it. The only issue I'm having with this one is it does not stay together when flying. So
Tape.
right. So I'm gonna have to modify this one just so it holds the same shape as my other ones. So I've got some my American flag duct tape here, and I am just going to put a piece of tape right here on the nose, just so it holds
What about
together.
the back? That's where I put it too.
You think I should put it on the back too? All right. Jensen says I should put it on the back too. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd love to hear hello from anybody who's watching us, so we know if there's somebody here. Go ahead and give us a comment or a like, just so we can see there's people here.
And show us your airplanes, because I will tell you, I am not a paper airplane making expert. I really try.
Me and Daddy we made a bunch.
Did you know, Kaci, that there's 3 different types of airplanes that our WWUFs are going to need to make when they do this venture?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's an Aero version, which is like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is an Aero paper plane.
So this would be like this one.
And then there's a Delta airplane like this, which is different than this one. You see there's some different ones. And then there's also the classic Dart. So it's kind of like folded together. I was struggling here.
All right. So we're gonna launch these 3 different ones. Brittany, can you take a guess which one of these? I've got my sales paper, newspaper one. I've got my cardboard one. I've got my cardstock one. Which one is going to go the furthest?
So I think the lightest one might go the furthest. So maybe the paper one.
You think this one's going to go the furthest?
I think maybe, yeah.
Well, what do you think, Jensen? Which one's going to go farther?
I think the pink one.
The pink one. You know what? I think now that we modified this cardboard one, I think it's going to go farther because it's got a little bit of extra weight to it to carry it, maybe. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
So we're going to launch each one at a time. Do you want to go ahead and launch this guy for me? Launch it out that way. We'll see how far we get with it.
Woo.
Okay, so, hold on, stay. So I'm going to move my camera just so you guys can see. That one came right back to us.
Okay.
It flew and then it just did a circle back to us.
Yeah, so almost kind of like a boomerang. So Jensen, do you want to launch the pink one now? Just launch it. Okay, so that one is actually
Straighter.
went right over there by the dog. She's our guest judge. All right, now the cardboard. So this one was my pick. Launch it good, buddy. Launch it good. Come on. Ooh, so that one didn't quite make it as far. The dog is scoping it out. So definitely the cardstock one went farther than the other ones. I won. So Jensen, why do you think it went farther?
Probably because it had less weight to it,
Mm-hmm.
and weight falls faster than light.
Okay. And also the design of it is pretty aerodynamic, right? So it kind of catches, I would think. Do you want to gather those up for me? So the cardstock won over cardboard and regular paper.
Cool. That's very interesting.
You owe me 10.
Okay, so what do we have to do next with our airplanes?
Next, we have to do something really fun.
Okay, tell
We're
me.
going to turn one of our airplanes that we already made into a catapult, airplane catapult.
That is so much fun. Okay, so
We already did.
we actually did do this. I've never done it before today, so it was a lot of fun to do. So what you're gonna do is take your airplane, take your airplane and you're going to take a hole punch and punch a hole right towards the nose of your plane. Okay. So you can use a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can actually use scissors, which is what I used. But make sure mom or dad or some adult that lives with you and takes care of you helps you, because that's a little bit iffy. So as long as you have a rubber band, any kind of rubber band will do. You can use a regular rubber band like this, or like a hair tie will work too.
How do you get that out?
So pulled it right out. So you're gonna get it into the hole. And I'm going to use my pen to kind of get her in there a little bit.
See, Kaci, I would love to know what kind of airplanes our viewers like to watch, our woofs make. You know, do like they make skinny ones? Do you like to use construction paper? Do they like to use just computer paper, cardboard?
And like the best kind of design, like it's really hard. I looked at a bunch of different videos today making these. I'm like, what is the best design? And I kind of went with this one. It's kind of standard, right? But there was some that were really sleek and skinny. So once you have your rubber band through there, okay, so I'm just kind of got it hanging just like that, okay? You're gonna loop one end through the other end. It's actually the kind of a beginning of like a rubber band chain. Have you ever made those before? Then you're gonna pull it really tight. So it sits kind of like that. Looks like it has a knot, okay? And then to launch these, I was having so much fun. And this is why we have tape on it, because we've launched it so many times, our nose was pretty bent. So I'm gonna launch it once and then I'll let Jensen do it. But
I want to do it first.
well, see if you can beat me. How about that? So it's kind of like almost like a slingshot, right? So you're going to hold your rubber band and hold your airplane, and you're going to let them go at the same time. Now, we're going to measure kind of who wins. So I'm going to launch mine, then Jensen will launch, and we will see who makes it farther, okay?
Bet you $50 that I'm
Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. So hold that tape measure and I will extend it out. What's the reading on that, buddy?
145.
145 inches. Okay, so mine went 145 inches.
I can beat that.
Jensen can beat that, he says. All right.
And I win.
All right, 143 inches, I'm guessing.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see.
Yes.
You take it. You take it. All the way to the wing.
Wait, you're gonna cheat.
No, I know you beat me. Just go.
Go.
Keep on.
You.
Hey, but part of the fun part is measuring. You gotta pull the whole measuring stick out. So when you're doing this, Kaci, it's important to make sure you find an area that doesn't have a lot of people in it, so you don't hit anybody with your airplanes.
Yes.
Or break
Because
them.
those pointy noses can poke somebody in the eye. So I was at 145 inches. Jensen is at 187.
Oh man, Jensen beat you.
So
Yeah, you owe me $50 because I bet.
so
you
he
$50.
beat me pretty good.
You owe me $50.
Awesome. Okay, so we've made our airplanes, and now we've measured how far they went. We talked a little about what we thought was going to go farther, and then we saw what did. And then we made it so there's something to propel our plane in the air, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of like, fighter jets. Have you ever seen those on the aircrafts?
Yep.
Well, because the ship has a short runway, the flight deck crew has to hook the jet to a catapult to fling it into the sky.
So cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of where it is. So you, instead of thrusting it with your arm, you took the rubber band and helped it get some more momentum to propel the plane. You stretched the rubber band backward and it created tension. And when you released it, it made it help make it go forward. because the material is made of rubber band. It returned to its original size when you let it go, and the tension threw the plane forward as the rubber band shrinks back. So that was pretty awesome what you guys did. Just like a fighter jet. Okay, so our next thing that moves are boats.
Yes.
They're boats. So for this requirement, you have to make 2 different types of boats, model boats, and then you have to see how they work in the water.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about what boats can do, and then a little bit about buoyancy, and then we'll make our boats or show our boats.
I do have a question for you though, Brittany.
Mhm.
What is the most important thing for a boat?
That it doesn't sink.
Exactly, right?
Exactly.
Well,
So
if it gets a hole in the bottom, then you're kind of stuck.
But then it's not a very good boat.
Nope.
So you definitely want no
What if
holes.
something hit it and it?
You want no holes, and it has to be able to float. So it has to be buoyant.
Mhm.
And Brittany, can you tell us what that means?
Yes. So boats, they can be a lot of things. Some have motors, some have sails, some carry cargo, some carry people, some go fast, and some go slow. They all have different jobs, but all boats need to float. So buoyancy is an object measures whether it will float in water. So why is it that some objects float and some sink? You probably know, when you're playing with your objects, that a metal, what will a metal object usually do?
They sink.
Sink, yes. But a piece of wood will
Float.
float, exactly. So you also know that many large boats are made out of
Metal.
metal and they float. So what makes this work? Kind of, it's like, what? So whatever the boat is made from, it takes up space in the water. The amount of space it takes up is called displacement. If the amount of water the boat displaces weighs the same as the boat will float. You can try this if you're at home or wherever, some way to try it is to take some aluminum foil. And with that aluminum foil, you can make a boat and then try different shapes to see which holds the most items. And then you can use a penny to see what shape holds the most. So you keep adding, and it kind of is the same. It's a good test. But now we're going to show you there's a couple different ways, but how did you make your boat over there?
So I made one and Jensen made one. So my boat that I made is made of popsicle sticks and tape.
Ooh.
So I built the base. So the larger popsicle sticks are the base. And then to hold that sturdy, I put popsicle sticks in an X across the bottom, just so it will stay flat. And then I built my sides out of the smaller popsicle sticks, and I just taped everything together. So this is stuff I just had kind of sitting at my house, so I didn't have to go and get anything crazy. And like Brittany said, you can use stuff like aluminum foil. You can use like a toilet paper roll. Just be careful because that will start taking on water and it will eventually sink. So then Jensen built one. He used foam, like craft foam that we had, and he just folded it into a shape. And we actually have, this is like sticky back foam. So he folded it into a shape, and he's already tested his, and his definitely floats. So we want to bring this over here. So we have a bowl with water in it. Jensen, do you want to step on that side and show us how your boat floats?
Ooh. It floats.
It floats.
Awesome.
All right, so I have not tested mine yet.
Okay.
So I'm really not sure to put it on that top. All right, so this is the maiden voyage of SS Kaci. So we're gonna see, I'm gonna put her in there very, very gently because I'm not really sure what's gonna happen.
What's got water in it?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit. It is floating. However,
It has water.
it definitely is also taking on water at one side, so it's kind of like,
Oh, it's
yeah,
getting more water. It's
Oh, yeah.
getting more water.
we're sinking. We're sinking.
Uh-oh,
See, she's going down.
she's going down.
So I do not have a future in boat design.
Oh no.
Yep, we've almost capsized.
That's
So
no good.
capsize is when a boat turns upside down and the SS Casey is sinking to the bottom.
So I made a sail
other
out of
side.
a piece of
That
paper.
might be what I'm missing. I don't have a sail.
Very
Eventually, that's the problem. Not my boat design, because it's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's
Yeah,
pretty.
but
I made a sail. Guess what I'm going to use for my bottom?
I have no sail.
Fantastic.
Hey!
How long is that gonna last?
I don't know, but maybe tonight I'll test it out in the bathtub and see if it works.
Yeah.
So,
Casey's boat.
and this would probably is going to need a little bit of hot glue to keep the straw on, or tape. Probably more like hot glue. So if that's something that needs to happen for your things, you probably will need an adult to help you. There you go. There's my boat.
That's fantastic. And see, that's stuff that you have at home.
Exactly.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing
Like I
crazy.
said, we did have, like you can use a toilet paper roll, and even just put like a sail in there. But it'll start soaking up the water, so you won't be able to use it for too long. Pool noodles.
Yeah.
If you
Oh,
want to cut up pieces of pool noodle, you can make a boat like that. So keep that in mind. If you have any pool noodles hanging around from summertime, you can make a boat out of those. And that's a lot of fun, actually.
awesome.
because
Well,
they're really
I
good.
love making boats. I'd love to see some more. But there's tons of different boats you can make. Try different shape hulls, different shape boatload of different things you could do. But we're going to move on to our last final type of movement object today, which is our cars, right?
Yes. Cars. So I built a car. Okay.
I don't know if it actually works. because
So,
I was
you can do these a bunch of different ways. So I just used old pencils that are unsharpened, a empty toilet paper roll, and then pieces of cardboard I just cut for the wheels. Okay. And then it's all about just poking the holes in there, right? And get them so they're free moving. Okay. But you can, if you go on Pinterest, and you can do like a rubber band car, and those are fun and easy to make. And then it's just powered by the rubber band. So this guy is actually powered by himself. So as long as you scoot him across the floor, and we're going to test him a little bit.
So you tried to make it a rubber band, right? So on the back.
What'd you say?
So you tried to make it a rubber band, but sometimes it doesn't
I
always.
did. Yeah, so for me, and I think this design, I couldn't get the rubber band to give me much tension. So I would try to wind it up and wind it up and wind it up, and it would get tight, and then kind of nothing would happen. So there's a flaw somewhere in my design, and I just didn't go back and try to figure it out. But this one does work. And normally, I would paint this up and make it look really, really cool and fancy, but here's just the basic design.
So there's a couple, while you get yourself ready, there are a lot of ways to make a car move. So you could do a balloon propelled car, or a spool car requires the power in you to create the momentum. And did you know momentum is the force and strength of something when it moves?
Mhm.
So when you blow up the balloon and the wind and wind the rubber band and let go, the car moves. So there's a handful of things you guys could try. So let's see.
So, Jensen, do you want to control the car or control the remote there?
control the remote.
Okay, so go down a little bit and then you'll zoom in. That's it. And then zoom in just a little bit. Just a little. All right. So we will show how this guy does move. Watch out, bud.
Ooh, awesome.
Coming back at you, Jensen. Oh, you launch him back. You gotta. Key is make sure you're holding the body of the car and not putting the weight on the wheels. Okay, ready?
Well, there you go. It moves.
It moves. It moves all on its own. I gave it a little bit of effort,
Okay,
a little
so
bit of muscle power, but then it has its own.
momentum to go forward.
Exactly.
Awesome. So today we are learning to follow instructions to how to explore the tension in a rubber band, and how it affects propulsion, see if shapes matter in a sail. So that would be an interesting thing to test out, see what shapes work better. The value of cooperation, deductive reasoning, and we're courteous when we do everything, right?
Exactly.
So I think we've had a really great day today. We've created and we've flown 3 different types of airplanes or talked about them. We launched them, we were going to record them, which when we thought was faster and what properties made it, what our predictions were. And then we made a paper airplane catapult. We thought, okay, we're going to record how far we thought it was going to travel, and then explain what information you need to make that prediction. So we needed to know the weight, how fast, how hard something's going to be pushed, things like that. And then we measured how far they went.
Mhm.
We made a couple different types of model boats, and then we tried them. And then we created a model car. So in this short period of time, we have done a lot of stuff today.
And I want to advise everybody. So if you've never done a paper airplane catapult, please do it.
It's fantastic.
Because it is a lot of fun. And it just makes it go a little bit farther.
Well,
and-
awesome.
Normally, if I throw a paper airplane without this little rubber band attached, it kind of just, yeah. It's kind of like the way I throw a Frisbee too. So this.
Awesome. So that's fantastic. I think I've had a really good time today. I'd love to see anybody else's creations in the comments below today, tomorrow, whenever you guys get to it. If you have any questions, please let us know. Tomorrow is our Tiger Den meeting. So we're pretty excited about that one. Miss Peggy, you'll be back with us. And we are going to say goodbye for tonight. And thank you guys for coming on, Jensen and Kaci again.
No problem.
always a
I'm
great-
always happy to come on. I have a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, have a fantastic night, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.